Hi everybody, I hope you're all keeping safe and well, and welcome along to the first of the series All Under One Roof. My name is Claire Connolly and I'm Managing Director of Claire Connolly Estate Agents here in Dundrum. And I suppose I have always wanted to do something like this, just a series to bring all the experts in the property field together, from, if you think about buying and selling your home, from solicitors, mortgage advisors, architects, estate agents, even your landscape designer, right across the board. So I suppose my idea is really just to impart that advice from all our experts, just on a little mini series once a month. So we're delighted to have along today our very first guest speaker, who is Clodagh Doyle of Placelift Limited, a building and renovation company based in County Wicklow. So Clodagh, you're very welcome and thank you so much for coming into us. So maybe you might just start by just giving us a little bit of more information about your business. I know it's a family-run business, and how COVID has actually impacted your business.
Good morning, Claire. Thanks very much for the invite. It's great to be here, and it's such a great idea, the video series. I'm looking forward to watching them all. So like you said, we're a building and renovation company based in Bray, County Wicklow. We're a family-run business, and we basically carry out bespoke and personalised renovations throughout Wicklow and Dublin. We have our own team of tradespeople, and we work in partnership with our carefully chosen subcontractors and qualified professionals in order to deliver high quality renovations with minimum stress to our customers. We only ever take on one project at a time, just to ensure project success. And our aim is actually to make the renovation process as simple and as easy as possible for our customers. So my role in Placelift is project manager. So I'm the first point of contact for our customers from their initial inquiry right through to handover day. And then my husband Ivan is the builder, and he's on site and he manages the day-to-day processes. So you mentioned how we were impacted by COVID. So I suppose, like other businesses, back in March we didn't see it coming. We were very busy at that time, and we were actually in the middle of a renovation when we had to down tools. The property we were working on was quite small, so we couldn't maintain adequate social distancing. So we were out of work for 3 months basically, and initially it was very worrying and concerning because we're both in the business, it's our bread and butter. But then I suppose during lockdown I noticed the level of inquiries kept coming in and actually increased greatly. So it was very, very positive, and we're very grateful to return to work on June the 8th. And we've been working away ever since. But I suppose, we did have to put in, like everyone else, strict protocols around all aspects of our business. And one of them, the impact would be that projects maybe take a bit longer because we have to social distance. And also, I suppose, some products are hard to come by at the moment because manufacturing plants were closed down for 3 months. But otherwise, I can't complain. Things are going well.
Thanks for that, Clodagh. And I can imagine how stressful it must have been for you, particularly as a family-run business, for those 3 months of lockdown. But I'm so pleased to hear that you're actually fully back in action again and busier than ever. So I suppose really it's really made us really think differently about our homes. So maybe you might just bring us through what you see the key trends that have emerged during this period.
Okay, so some of the key trends that I've definitely noticed over the last few months and even recently, some of them are the usual suspects, but for example, creating more space in the home. So that could be a garage conversion, attic conversion, even a shed conversion, and also an extension, so a rear or side extension. So that's all about creating more space. Another one then is actually making the most of the existing footprint of the home. So that's all about reconfiguring the home to make it work better. So that's very common, and a very common one there will be the open plan. So removing a structural wall perhaps between a kitchen and dining. Another one then would be a dedicated office space. So with so many people working from home, I've seen situations where you would have one person sitting at a dining room table during the day, another on a sofa. It just doesn't work. There's no work balance there, and you need a dedicated space. So people are looking towards maybe converting a bedroom or a garage into a dedicated office space. Another thing there is the gym. People they don't maybe feel comfortable going to the gym, or they haven't been able to go. So converting the shed into a gym is another one. Another one there would be separation space. So perhaps a playroom for young kids, or if it's teenagers, a separation space, a room where they can relax away from the rest of the home. Another one then would be actually having a room in the house where you can just relax. So no, some people are actually converting bedrooms into this space. So no bed in it, literally sofa where you can yoga, read and relax. So that's another one. Storage is always, clever storage is always high up there. So people want more storage and need more storage. So that's quite a common inquiry. But I suppose another big trend that emerged, especially during the summer months, was the value people were placing on their gardens. So with the restrictions with COVID, people weren't able to go out and socialise. So they found that the really safe place to do this was in their gardens. So for anyone that's familiar with Dermot Bannon, you'll know that he loves connecting the garden with the home, and he's all about bringing the outside in. So I think during the summer, people wanted to bring the inside out. So they wanted a really nice space outside to relax and meet their family and friends and social distance. And they wanted that space to be cosy and comfortable. So, you know, it could be, it was a decking or a paved area with a pagoda, lovely comfortable seating, lighting, fire, like outdoor heaters and outdoor fires were popular. So all that. So the garden really came more important than ever, I think, during these times, and continues to be. So they're the main key trends.
So yeah, that's actually really interesting, Clodagh, because I can see the same in the sales market. It's amazing, as you say, the idea of wanting to create a space, no matter what it could be from, or, you know, the use of the garden. Because I can see now when prospective purchasers are coming along and they're really looking for, can they extend, or what can they use as an office space, or you know, even an indoor gym, as you say. And I love the idea of the garden from the inside out. I love that idea of creating almost an additional space. The garden is our haven. And I'm actually seeing that the properties, particularly in South Dublin, are going quite a bit over the asking price, but they're really good quality family homes. So, Clodagh, just a question. If just say, for instance, a buyer is moving into their new home, but they do need a renovation, what sort of, like, what tips would you give them, or where would they really start from, I suppose, with their renovation? What tips would you advise?
Yeah, so if it's a new home, you know, you haven't lived in this home, so you know, you may not know exactly what's working or what's not working. But I suppose the starting point here is to get everyone in the family involved and create a wish list for this new home. So get it all down on paper, get everyone do their own separate wish list, then come together and collate that list into one. That's probably the first thing to do. It's okay to dream, you know, but just, I suppose, there will be some overlap. That's the first thing. The next thing then really is about, the next thing is the budget, really. You know, you need to know what your budget is before you start. So your budget basically is what you've saved that you can allocate to this renovation, or what you can finance. So if you're financing, you know, you need to start that process early. The next thing then really is that you need to prioritise the budget with the renovation. And that can be tricky. It's hard for homeowners to know how far their budget's going to get them, and it's hard to know how to prioritise the budget. But, you know, it's really about, you really have to get back to the basics, the fabric of the building, and make sure that you take care of the main things like heating and plumbing and all that, those aspects first. That's the main thing. But then also I'd say, you know, with the renovation, you would also look towards making the home more sustainable, so more energy efficient. So you could look towards getting an energy report, is always a good start. And another thing there would be future proofing. So depending on what life stage you and your children, if you have children, or where you're at, you want to future proof this home. So whatever you do now, you want it to work well down the road. So they're the main tips really I would give. But also, one of the main things I suppose is not to rush the process. The devil is in the detail in the planning. So really take your time with that. And really it's all about balancing your needs and wants with your budget. And that's the tricky part.
Got lots of food for thought there, Clodagh. And in actual fact, we've just had a few questions just coming in, so maybe you might be able to answer them for us. The first one here is from a lady in Wicklow who hasn't heard actually the energy rating. And is it new, or she's really wondering about the cost of it, the energy reports, how cost effective are they? You might give us a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, so an energy report is always, you know, before you do a renovation, that's a good idea to get a detailed energy report. What a detailed energy report would be something you'd get from a qualified energy consultant. It's a higher level report than the one you would get with a BER, which is called an advisory report. So this report would be specific to your home and a lot more detail. So it's a great starting point, you know, to look at when you're looking at your budget and planning the renovation.
And there's a question here, Claude, as well from a gentleman asking, what would the approximate cost be if you wanted to convert, say, your garage into an office space?
So yeah, that's another, actually, funny enough, that's quite a regular question, because garage conversions are high up there on people's agenda. So so really, all garages are different, are slightly different in some ways. So so really, you're talking about anywhere between 15 and 25k. You're talking. It just depends on the existing fabric of the garage and the finishes, how far you want to take it. So somewhere in between that, yeah.
Actually, so that's not prohibitive really, Claudia. It's not a bad, but as you say, it really depends on the specification that the client is looking for, what they're willing to spend on it, or how is it all bells and whistles. So I'm just going to, if we've time, I'm just going to put in one more question here from a gentleman, and he's saying that if you're buying a house, what would you consider to be the, I suppose, the main aspect that would enhance its value? Now, there might be a few, but what would you consider to be the main aspect?
Yeah, I suppose, the potential it may have to extend it. I think that would be my main one. But also the garden. I think the garden is, to have a decent sized garden is so important.
So Claudia, yourself and your husband and your brilliant team deliver incredibly professional renovation services. So, and I know your website is placelift.ie, but if they want to book a consultation, Claudia, how can they go about doing that?
So on our website, there's a contact form that they can literally just fill out a few questions, email that into us, and then we'll get back in touch.
Now, Claudia, thanks so much for coming in. It was an absolute pleasure to have you. God, you're a mine of information. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Claire, for the opportunity. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to tuning in to your video series.
So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the first of our series. So we will be running these once a month, the last Friday of every month. But I mean, I have ideas of who I want to bring in to talk to, but maybe you might have some idea if there's people, if there's a particular expert in any of the property related profession that you would like to hear from their expert advice, please just send me an email and we'll have a little chat with them. So that's the last. Please tune in the next Friday of the last Friday of October, and thanks so much for watching.